All right, today we are talking about vlogging, and I have a little bit of a confession to make. I don't actually like vlogging. Now, this might seem a little counterintuitive. Here's some guy vlogging about how he doesn't like vlogging. How meta. Why don't I just stop vlogging then? Well, no, I like making travel videos, and I do find that talking to the camera helps to lend some context to my videos. It's easier to tell a story that way rather than trying to do it all with a series of images. Of course, I'd rather it was someone else talking to the camera, but as I do most of my traveling with Alex, and she's even less comfortable in front of the camera than I am, here we are. I don't even like the word vlogging. It's an odd word. I mean, you know where it comes from, right? It's a video blog. Remember blogging? Is that still a thing? Do people still write blogs? Or did they all just decide that their little fingy wingies were too delicate for all that typing and switch to vlogging instead? Maybe vlogging is just lazy blogging. Anyway, I think I'm going off track here a little. I'm supposed to be talking about the tactics that I use to feel a little more comfortable vlogging in public. So I'm going to set up all my gear now and we'll head into Perth to talk more about vlogging. Alright, so we're just about set to go now, and I just wanted to say a quick word about the gear that I use for vlogging. You don't really need to spend a lot on camera gear to vlog with. In a lot of ways, it's probably better to use compact, less obtrusive setups where possible. You don't really want to be drawing unnecessary attention to yourself while you're out in public. This may be a little bit of overkill now that I think about it. Anyway, we'll talk more about the gear later. Let's get heading off. It's been pretty wet and miserable here in Perth just lately, so it's been a while since I've put one of these out. Unfortunately, as you can probably see right now, today's not much different. But I had to get out of the house. I was sick of being locked in. So here we are in Perth, and I'm going to try and get a little B-roll and to talk to you about vlogging. Handy tip that I found for vlogging in public, one that works for me anyway, is to write a short script on your phone. You don't have to actually read it out, but it'll give you something to refer back to. It's a good way of keeping track of what you wanted to say, and you're less likely to waffle on. If there are too many people around and you just keep fumbling your words, it can be really handy to have a script to read out. I have a little teleprompter at home which I can mount on the front of my lens, and it's surprisingly compact. It only costs less than $100, and it's proven to be really, really handy. Alright, well, shall we talk about vlogging setups now? In truth, I'm still looking for the perfect vlogging setup myself, so I can't just hand out a recommendation. Not quite yet anyway, but I do want to suggest a few things worth considering. Let's face it, the GH5 that I had out earlier on the Zhiyun crane with the shotgun mic attached, it makes for a quality vlogging kit, but that setup is enormous and it's going to require some serious muscle power. And it's not exactly inconspicuous. As much as I love the quality that comes from the larger sensor, if I need a gimbal shot, I'd much rather use a smaller setup. So what are the important things to look for in a vlogging kit, aside from keeping it small? Number one, a mic jack. I know a lot of phones and cameras have decent inbuilt mics these days, and you're often going to be pretty close to the mic, so this may not seem like a major issue, but most inbuilt mics are atrocious when it comes to handling wind noise. If you're outdoors in windy conditions, the very least you need is a mic with a fur windscreen. What else do you need to consider? A way of viewing yourself while you're filming. There's nothing worse than finishing the recording only to realize that half of your head is out of shot. This is an easy ask if you're using your phone, since every smartphone I know of has a front-facing camera. Often the front-facing camera though isn't quite as good as the rear, but even the most basic phones can still manage an HD video. The third thing to consider is stabilization. I'm a big fan of gimbals. They allow you to get some very cool shots that I couldn't otherwise manage without one. That said though, they're not essential. You can get great footage from a phone with basic image stabilization, and it's a pretty easy task to mount your phone on a little table tripod or a GorillaPod like the one that I'm using now. In fact, the setup that I'm using now is really very cool. The app that I'm recording this video with has a teleprompter function. So I was able to write a script onto the phone. I can read it out while I talk to the camera, and I'm also able to see myself. This setup is probably not perfect for walking and talking because, you know, it doesn't include a gimbal, but we don't live in an Aaron Sorkin TV show. I think we can afford the time to stop while we talk to the camera. I kind of prefer static shots anyway when it comes to vlogging. I don't really get why so many vloggers like to walk and talk. I'm not that good of a multitasker anyway. One camera that I'm seriously looking into for vlogging at the moment is the new Removu K1. Until now, the only thing that came close to doing everything that I wanted was the DJI Osmo. But from all accounts, the time that it takes to turn it on and pair your phone with it, it's a little impractical. The Removu K1 looks like it might be just about the perfect solution. It has an LCD that you can monitor yourself with, a mic jack, and it's a gimbal. By all accounts, it's quick to start up, and this thing is small enough to fit in your jacket pocket. If I end up picking one up, I'll let you know how it goes in a future episode. Alright, well that's about all there is for this episode. Let me know in the comments below, what does your perfect vlogging setup look like? And do you have any tips yourself on how to build your confidence while vlogging in public? I'd love to hear from you. I'll be putting out another episode in hopefully about 2 weeks' time. Until then, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button down below and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you again soon.